Bowsers. How's it going, everyone? Let me do some little tweaking a little bit here. There we go. This way y'all can see me a little bit. There we go. For show. Man. Oh my gosh. I know one thing for sure. I need a new computer, man, because this thing is lagging like no one's business. Lagging like no one's business. Oh my gosh. I'm trying, y'all. Y'all gotta give me a break, man. I'm trying. I appreciate y'all for checking things out. Hold on real quick. Damn. I think we're good on a lot of other fronts. All right, cool. I think we're good on many of the other fronts, but I could be wrong. All right. Ooh-wee. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Let me close some of these applications now, because I think that's what's going on here. So I keep that one running. I think I'll keep that one. Okay, whatever. Close some of these apps here. Way too much stuff running. No need for sponsors. Man, these bots are crazy. Oh my gosh. Crazy bots. Damn. I don't know if y'all can see that, but yeah. Alright, let's see what we got here. Damn. Maybe like right here. And then maybe make this one bigger, or actually this one would be better than just kind of put this like right in the corner here. Yeah, there we go. That should be a little bit better. For show. Damn. Who is this? What was that? Sorry, I missed what you said. I don't really know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I'm still trying some other stuff out, man. My computer is being super slow right now. Yeah. I don't even have access to my board or nothing. It is just like, oh, my computer is like burning up for like no reason right now. Ay. Man, how's the quality, yo? Can y'all see the quality? Let me see if I can pull it up on my other phone real quick. Hang on. I got a bunch of phones here. My throwaway phones. Let me see what it looks like. Because right now, this is just a testing thing. I'm just testing some things out. I'm running this stuff on my laptop, but this, like, my laptop is like scalding hot right now. It's like hella bad. My throwaway phones. Let me see what it looks like. Because right now, this is just a test. What's up with you? How you doing? What's up? My bad. I'm testing stuff. Maureen, what's up? Yeah, for sure. Sorry. Yeah, I'm testing stuff up. The interesting thing is I see your text messages on here or your messages, but on the other thing, I don't see any messages from you, which is really weird. I wonder if it's coming through maybe on the other platform. Let me see. Were you just browsing and you came across my stream or what? I'm genuinely curious. Yeah, I don't see, like, your chat isn't coming up nowhere else. I'm testing. Okay, I see it right here. It's starting to come in right now. I'm testing Streamlabs because I just set up Streamlabs, but I'm testing it right now. I'm streaming on like 6 different things. Hello. Let me see if this works. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of phones right here just testing them out. Oh, you're from the Philippines? That's what's up. How did you come across my live? Were you just like browsing and you just, it was like, oh, that's interesting, and you just joined in? And where you, oh, you're on YouTube. That's what's up. Damn. I forgot that I was even streaming on YouTube. Hey, be sure to hit me with a thumbs up if you're joining me on the YouTube. Thank you so much. I don't even know how many people are joining in on YouTube, man. I can't even see. Oh no, I am on YouTube right now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see now. It's 3 people on YouTube right now. That's cool. For sure, for sure. I appreciate it. Damn. Just browsing. That's what's up. How old are you? How old are you? How do you like the Philippines? Have you ever been to America or what? I'm thinking. You think I should have the logo here, or should I move the logo like here a little bit? What do you think? Should I have like the logo here? Like maybe right here? Is that better? Damn. What do y'all think? I need y'all to help me out. Is the logo better there? Or thanks for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Thank you, y'all. Be sure to sub the channel too. I'm gonna be posting some more cool stuff, okay? But my computer's like lagging like crazy right now. I'm still just testing some stuff out. I genuinely think, oh shit, I genuinely think it's time for me to get another computer because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. It's like lagging by several seconds. 33 my relatives are in the US, not logos at the original place. Okay, so you like the logo in the original place? Okay, let's see. All right, I'll put it back. All right, there we go. All right, I just put it back right there. Hopefully that's better. The only thing that I'm worried about is, I don't know if you can see the back arrow, but it looks like the back arrow and my face kind of interferes with it. So it's kind of tough. I don't know. It's kind of tough. I don't know. But in a little bit, we get ready to start talking about dating and relationships. I don't really know if this is in your wheelhouse because you are in the Philippines, but I'm not really sure. We'll see. But a lot of this stuff wouldn't really, it wouldn't really relate to you just because culturally, it's a lot different. Yeah, there's a huge, terrible delay. Like I think the delay is probably as much as like 30, 20 seconds or something. Is bad. Holy shit. Wow. But we still gonna try to see what's up. Hang on. We gonna still try to make something happen, y'all. I appreciate y'all for being in. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, we're gonna try to see what's up. Oh man. Yeah, dating here is definitely a lot more interesting. So in American culture, dating is a lot different. I mean, you being in the Philippines, I'm sure you could relate to this quite a bit. I'm sure you see quite a bit of American men, or not even just American men, but Western men. Uh, you're probably seeing a huge influx of them in the Philippines. Have you noticed that? Like a big influx of American or Western. You date too many? Yeah, for sure. We date to marry? Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would say folks here do kind of as well. It's just that everything is super transactional here. So, in other words, like in the Philippines, one of the things that I noticed was a lot of the women tend to be more focused on how they can be an asset to a man. But in America, women are overly focused on what a man can do for them. And they just think because they just merely exist as women, they should just get whatever they want. But I'm going to talk a little more about that. I'm definitely going to talk a little more about that. Yeah, hang on. Oh shit. Hang on. I forgot to do something. Tickfinity. All right. But yeah, so usually here in America, um, a lot of the ladies, because in America, women, I don't know how it is in the Philippines. I would imagine it's probably the same. But in America, women greatly outnumber men by millions and millions. But a lot of the women tend to not treat the men too well. And like I was saying earlier, you will probably see a huge influx of American men going to the Philippines because a lot of American women don't really treat American men too well, or just men in general, you know? So it's kind of bad, but it's just, but we're gonna dive into it just in a sec. What the heck is going on? Where the heck is my board at? Oh my gosh. Ugh. Jeez. Where's my boards? Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. I'll use this one. All right, we're going to touch on this again. So the topic that I have right now is why average women don't want average men. So in America, like I said, a lot of average women tell average men that they're not good enough. How crazy is that, huh? How crazy is that? Average women telling average men that they're not good enough. Insane, wouldn't you say? So we about to get into it right now. Yeah, I had some weird stuff happen to my live. I don't really know what's going on anymore. You said Western women are losing a lot of respect for men. Yes, absolutely. Eric, you gosh darn right. Absolutely. And it's become such a wild cultural thing that a lot of American men, I mean, it's like a new phenomenon. I'm sure many of you heard about it. It's called the passport bros. A lot of people have been doing that, which is pretty crazy, But that's what's kind of been happening at this point. It's kind of, you know, pretty intense. Define average man, just a man that works a normal blue collar, white collar job. He's pretty content with what he has. He makes average, so he makes national average. So, for example, in America, the national average for men is like I think 47 or 48,000 a year, something like that. So this is just an average man. But what happens is you have a lot of below average and average women wanting this like exceptional above average man that most of them can't qualify for. Yeah, exactly. Any, you know, like I said, white collar, blue collar man, making an average, they often remind him and tell him that he's not good enough. And so usually what happens is, like many of these women, they would uh, friend zone these guys and then complain that they can't find a good man. And I never understood that. I never understood that. As long as he has a job, fears God, and close to his family, I think Asian women are all good with that. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And that's the huge difference. That's the huge difference. Like Asian women, and especially like in your culture, they would like that. What's up, Rosetta Plummer? How's it going? Welcome in. Like women in your culture, they would be more okay with that and content with that, and they respect just honest hardworking men. But unfortunately, in a big part of Western culture, that's not really quite the same. So, and that's why I was saying like you. That's why you're seeing a lot of men go to Thailand, go to the Philippines, things like that. So it's common, and we're seeing more of that. But I don't even know if there will even be a change. I genuinely don't know if there will ever be a change. Hey, thanks for the heart me. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Rayoni, what's up, my friend? Nurse Kaya, what's up? How's it going? So, hey, thanks for the likes. I appreciate it. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. We more focus on loyalty and caring than money. Yeah, that's really good. Absolutely. I wish more people were like that, you know? Absolutely. Maureen, you're in bed right now, Rayoni? That's cool. What time is it out there where you're at, Rayoni? Yeah, and Maureen, so unfortunately, in Western culture, money is a huge component. Everything is very transactional. It's all predicated on how much money the guy has, what he can offer in terms of benefits, and a slew of other things. Hey, Nurse Kaya, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Thanks for the rose. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, it's all predicated on a lot of that. Thank you so very much for the roses. Thank you, girl. Sagittarius Nurse, OSU football, fan navigating these TikTok streets. Go Bucks. All right. Thanks for the TikTok, Rayoni. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. Man. But yeah, so Maureen, yeah, that's what a lot. Hey D, what's going on? Welcome in. So that's what we're seeing a lot. And when it's already bad enough where you have a lot of women who are all chasing this like subset of men, right? This subset of men. So you have most of these women, and they want this like very niche man where most women just can't get, right? Even in just numbers wise, they can't get, but they all want this same subset of men. And it's so interesting. It's so fascinating. Mitchell, what's up? Sky, what's up? Anthony Blumpus, what's up? Tribute, what's up? Rayoni, thanks for the likes, my friend. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thanks for running those likes up. But yeah, and I appreciate the thumbs up, y'all. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Star One, what's up? Welcome in. And that's what it's all about, And you know, a lot of these women, they say they want a relationship and everything, and they'll meet these men, they'll become friends with them and everything, but then they'll friend zone them. That's the thing. And then these same women will say, well, I can't find a good man. It's like, well, you don't have to look far. They're in your friend zone. These are just men in your friend zone, but they don't want these men because they're too nice. That's why that saying exists: nice guys finish last, right? Nice guys finish last. Because a lot of times, a lot of these women, they don't want the nice guys. They don't want the nice guys with the average jobs that's going to be safe. One person, Leandria, said there's no chemistry, right? And that's the thing, you know. And they want the bad boys because and a lot of it too is just being a perpetual victim, right? They need to be a victim. Who told me that? Russia, what's up? Bravo, don't spread in false reality. What do you mean? What do you mean spreading false reality? Okay, self-taught tattoo artist, Russian sobriety journey. Well, привет, доброе утро. Я знаю, как это по-русски. Как дела? Как вас зовут? Неплохо. Well, so what they say, Maureen, is they want it all, right? They want it all every single time. They want it all. That's good, Keisha. That's good. And Keisha, a lot of ladies don't say that though. It's good that you want an average man. A lot of ladies don't want to build with an average man. They just don't. I don't know why. I don't understand why. There's a lot of great guys out here. They don't want to build with an average man. That many of them want this exceptional above average man. So like I was just explaining, you have a lot of below average and average women all wanting this exceptional unicorn above average man. You know? And it's sad. And it's just like, really? You said the sinister minister said my homegirl moved to the USA from the Philippines 6 years ago. She got married and had some kids. Now is single because husband cheated. So she's single. Okay, so let's take that. Okay. He cheated. She has kids. What else does she think is out here waiting for her? He cheated. Does she think she's going to get out here single with all of these kids and think some new man is just going to take her on with another man's offspring? Because that's what it boils down to. It's like ain't no other man signing up for that, especially in Western culture. Especially in Western culture. A lot of men are not signing up to, because she's initially looking to be a stepfather. Men are not signing up to be stepfathers. Absolutely not. You say she doesn't sleep around, doesn't date, just gave up romance. Yeah, I mean, for folks like her, the sinister minister, she probably need to go to therapy. Leandra Gumpdropstead, skill issues. Hey, thanks for the heart puff. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Down to a 1.5 now. Don't push it. What do you mean down to a 1.5 now? What do you mean? What do you mean down to a 1.5? What do you mean? Issa Melissa said it's because they haven't been raised to be humble. Yeah, yeah, that's true. America has more single parents than the majority of the world. I could believe that, Russia Inc. I could believe that. Yes, absolutely. I can believe that. It's crazy. Ain't ain't no one want to hear you yap yap. Hey, me now. You could Abby Lee. You could bounce. You could bounce. We're having this conversation. You could totally bounce. This is where we have. This is my channel with my conversations. I can do whatever I want here. That's the beauty about about this stuff. It's just you could just talk about whatever you want. And it's cool. And these are really interesting conversations. These are really interesting conversations. Hey, man, y'all are hooking me up with the gifts, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, Miss Angel. I appreciate it. That's a harsh reality. Absolutely, Keisha. Absolutely. A lot of this is the harsh reality. And we have to have the tough conversations. A lot of people don't want to have the tough conversations, unfortunately. A lot of people do not want to have the tough conversations. Man, I appreciate y'all. Man, thank you so much, Miss Angel. Oh, man, you are hooking up the gifts. Thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The protagonist said, I wouldn't mind being a stepfather if a kid can secure you away you don't love the woman. Well, the thing is with a kid that, the notion with that is you could sink money, resources into that kid. You don't get any of that back, right? So if you're willing to do that, that's fine. Good on you. You're a rock star. But most men are not looking to be stepfathers. Most men don't want to sink their hard earned money into another man's offspring. Why? Because it's not a net positive for him. Some men will do it in perhaps some sort of desperation to quote unquote save her, to be a hero, whatever. But, the grander scheme of things, he could develop a great relationship with that kid, right? I mean, be everything that kid need, and she could strip all of that away from him in an instant. She could wreck that relationship because it's not his kid, and there's nothing he can do about it because he's not the biological father, and that lies the issue, right? The sinister minister said, I feel bad because she grew up traditional and cooks and cleans, works, etc. When you said then the Western way ended up screwing over her. Western culture has gotten crazy. Absolutely. And that's why a lot of men are leaving Western culture. And that's why I was saying a lot of Western guys, they're going to like the Philippines, they're going to Thailand, things like that. What's up, Cliche-ish? How's it going? Welcome back. It's good to see you again, Cliche-ish. Russia E said, but blame the woman. They want the same rights as men, and now men have become weak in America. I mean, it's not really a thing of that, but men have just made it ultra comfortable for women, which is fine. I mean, this is what society has brought about, is, given extended comforts and provisions and protections and resources for women. That's what we came to, right? But it comes at a tragic cost, right? Because what happens, right? I mean, look at all of the sayings that exist, right? Right? And you see a lot of divorces, right? That's why a lot of states are looking to do away with no-fault divorce, right? Because women have overwhelmingly abused it, right? They would file for divorce, citing their happiness or lack thereof. Oh, I'm not happy. Therefore, I want a divorce. I'm going to ruin my family, wreck my family, wreck my relationship, split the kids up because I'm not happy. And that's, a man will always sacrifice his happiness for his family, but a woman, she would almost always sacrifice her family for her happiness. And we seeing it in real time. A lot of states are looking to do away with no fault divorce because of this, because women have abused the system. Like states like Florida and all that, they're looking to do away with no fault divorce. Oh, I'm not happy, you know? And and that's what I said. And realistically, for the longest, no one gave a crap about men, and that's the issue. No one really gave a crap about men, right? Only women, children, and family pets will always be loved unconditionally. Men will only be loved under the condition that they can provide. That was quoted by Chris Rock, and I'll never forget that saying because that's real. That is real. Is religion a big thing for Western men when it comes to relationship? Religion, not so much. A lot of Western culture, you would see in the church, it's overwhelmingly women. I mean, you would see like some little pockets of men in the church, but in the churches now, it's overwhelmingly women. Nah, you're not factual, my guy. You speaking macho shit. Shisha mystery. I'm not sure what you're talking about. What are you talking about? There's nothing macho about it. We're just having a normal conversation. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Me and my man broke together. What do you mean, Shay? What do you mean you and your man broke together? You mean y'all struggling together? Is that what you mean? Factually honest, for sure. I'm so glad I make my own money and don't have to accept the bare minimum. Well, you have to make your own money. You have to. That's the thing. Ain't because no one is there. So you have to make your own money. And, you don't get a badge of honor for that. You have to take care of yourself because no one is going to take care of you. So you have to do these things, right? Tyrone Lou said, did I mention I'm 6'4", 25, Latino, six-figure income? Veiny for, I mean, yeah, you're probably what many women would want. Robin said, mature women here, in my opinion, is young women today have over exaggerated self-worth and less value. That is quite the comment, and I'm glad someone said it. Because many of you ladies, let's just face it, you have an overinflated sense of self-worth. We see many of you call yourselves tens and all of this other nonsense. We all know darn well that that is not the case. That is not the case whatsoever. But that is one hell of a saying. Thanks for sharing that, Robin. I appreciate that. Absolutely. Hey, y'all, I appreciate the follows. Thank you so very much. Be sure to send in your daily heart me to support me. I appreciate it. Let's see. Let's see what else we got here. And men have gotten effeminate for sure. Dragon said the reason females don't want males is they are tired of patriarchal misogynist males. Well, I mean, do you have any alternatives that you could compare that you would like to live under? Because men provide the comforts, the protection, the resources. Make no mistake, right? Thank you so much, Maureen. I appreciate it. Make no mistake that all of the comforts you come to enjoy is by the blood, sweat, and tears of men, not teams of women. And let's be clear, women outnumber men by millions in this country, okay? By millions. But for some crazy reason, men dive into the harsh, complex elements of society, exposing ourselves to harmful toxins, chemicals, all of that stuff, right? Men maintain this vast and complex infrastructure, not women, not teams of women. We live in a society that you could get into trouble and need assistance at any given time. You just pick up your phone and dial 911, and a team of men will come and rescue you and save your life, be it law enforcement, paramedics, firefighters. Let's just face it. If you're in a burning house or building, I'm sure you wouldn't want a team of women to come. I'm sure you would want a team of strong men to come to rescue you. So let's stop the cap, okay? And that's what I'm saying. Your comment, Dragon, is the perfect example, right? Everything is misogyny, right? Like this radical feminist ideology. It's just, you know, you can look up, down, left, right. Everything around you was created, curated, designed by men, overwhelmingly. From the plumbing in your floors, the paved roads, the laid brick, the clean drinking water, this vast, complex infrastructure, it has been created and maintained by men. All of the comforts you come to enjoy today is all because of men. But you will never give men flowers because you grew up to have a hatred and contempt of men, which is fine, but just know that that comes at a cost. That comes at a cost. Let me do some catching up, y'all. That's right. Happiness is the most important. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Ryan said happiness is the most important. Is it though? Because if you're with someone, you have duty. If you get married, you typically take vows, right? For better, for worse, things apart, death do you part, blah, blah, blah. It don't say anything about happiness. It doesn't say dot, 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 oh, in your happiness. You have duty, be it you're in a relationship, especially if you're married to someone. Because you're going to have days that are ups and downs. You don't just, it's like, oh, I'm not happy, therefore I'm going to ruin and wreck everything, you created, through these years. That's crazy. That's ludicrous. Hey, y'all, thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the follows, the likes. I appreciate it. A man who knows nothing of women. Oh, I know enough. I know enough. I know enough. It's just that many of you are just so insufferable. You don't want to hear anything from a man's perspective. That's all. You're so insufferable. Your opinion means more to you than keeping a man. Your opinion means more to you than anything else, which is fine. But again, if you've set, you purchase your one-way ticket to Spencerville, more power to you. This isn't the content for you. Please proceed to Spencerville. This isn't for you. This is for folks who want to have the conversation, the tough conversation, who want to be held accountable, who want to, be involved with self-awareness. That's all. This sounds. How did that sound? I'm going to take it no more. I'm going. I can't take him no more. All right, lover girl. See you later. See you later, lover girl. I appreciate you. Thank you so very much. Wow. What is that? That was cool. Man. Are you divorced and bitter? I am not. Never been married. Have a good night, people. For sure, for sure. Let's see. Some men just seem like they don't know how to properly connect or interact with women and get mad. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's just that, we live in a day and age that, men cannot share their standards, expectations, or boundaries. You see yourself, men are shamed, men are insulted, men are guilt tripped because just a few years ago it was taboo for a man to share his standards and all of that. Maureen, out here it is 10:51 p.m. my time. Yeah, absolutely, Angel. I mean, and that's the point. Yeah, and a lot of these women, unfortunately, they're going to end up spinsters and cat shepherds and all of this other stuff. I mean, that's just the harsh reality. It's not a tough conversation. You're lying and delusional. I'm lying and delusional. What exactly am I lying about? What exactly am I delusional about? You don't have to look too far. We gladly take Spencerville in our peaceful, clean homes with our hobbies and friends. But Mary, a lot of that, you're not getting a lot of that. That's all. You're chasing manifestation madness. You're chasing delusion. Spinsterville sounds like a good time. Hey, if Spinsterville sounds like a good time, and again, this content isn't for everyone. Like I said, for those of you who are content with living a single life, if you're great at being single, more power to you. Just keep in mind, in this great, beautiful nation we call the US of A, many you ladies, y'all outnumber men by millions and millions. So I think we'll be good if a few of y'all stepped aside, okay? Make room for the women who want to be in a relationship with a man, okay? The worst type of woman a man want to deal with is one who's disruptive, confrontational, argumentative, disagreeable. You all, I mean, in the end, many of you just do it to yourselves. Again, your opinion means more to you than gaining a man, keeping a man, because you just want to, be overly opinionated. It's like, okay, if your opinion means more to you than anything else, okay, have fun being single. And many of you say that, but then you all will share that single bed by yourself. You'll be in that bed by yourself. And if you're fine with that, hey, more power to you. You do you, boo boo. But this is for the women who want to change their ways, their wicked ways. For me, a good, mature conversation is the key to a good relationship. Absolutely. And that's the thing. You want to be open with your partner. You want to have that dialogue open, that conversation. You want to make sure you have all of that available. It's so important. It is so, so, so very important. I appreciate you for sharing that, Maureen. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that because it is so, so, so very important. Pierced by Pisces, I am. Well, because we know we've seen it, and that's the thing. Many women are overly focused on what a man should do with them and for them, and many of you have lost what you should be doing for a man. How you should make yourself an asset to a man, and that's where a lot of the issues come from. Many of you don't even know how to make yourselves an asset to a man. You just think by merely existing is enough. It's not. You have to do more, especially for the kind of caliber of man many of you say you want. We don't care. My husband is better than you in every way, and I still don't need him. Wow. Wow. Really? For someone who says something like this, that doesn't appear to be someone who's his viewer stays anonymous and illegal. Okay. I mean, and I see why you're anonymous, Enigma. But for someone to say something like that about their spouse says enough about you, your ideology, your mindset. And in my opinion, if you don't need him, why are you with him? Men go where they're needed. If you don't need him, leave him. Let him be with a woman who needs him. Men don't look for women who are independent. We want women who are interdependent. Interdependent, not independent. If you want to go to the mountain shop on the mountaintops and scream and double, triple down how much you don't need a man and how much you don't need your own husband, that's on you. But that just spells nothing but disaster. Wow. Dustin, I'm not answering that. Dustin, you tripping. Because, well, for the first group, I don't know. The second group, I think there's hope, but I think we probably won't change it anytime soon. I think there's a lot of it's probably going to take a damn alien invasion or something before we see any major changes. Hey, thanks for the roses. I appreciate it, Rayoni. Thank you so very much, my friend. Carrie, I already found what I wanted, so I'm pretty set and content. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for the gift. A relationship is a team. There are things you agree and disagree about, but if you choose to work it out and talk about it, then what's relationship is about? It's a matter of choice. And Maureen, you're absolutely right. Coming into an agreement with your partner, Hang on, y'all. I'll be back. Hang on. God damn, it was a high-speed chase by me, man. That shit was crazy. All right, let's see. Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. And that's the thing, life is about choices and trade-offs, right? And that's the thing. In Maureen, here in Western culture, a lot of American women, they want it all. They want it all. So they create in their mind this idea of this man, right? And they don't understand that, this exceptional above average man that has to probably meet and exceed their expectations. He could probably meet and exceed the expectations of a lot of them, and he's probably not going to deal with them. And a lot of the women who are talking now, they're single, they're single, but they're so insufferable. It's just like they don't even know what to do and how to do it. And it's just like, just have the conversation. Oh, wow. Thank you so very much for the gift. Wow. That was cool. Thank you. Robin said, I made six figures, as did my husband, best friends, and cheated an incredible life. That's marriage. Yeah. And that's the thing, Robin, in the end, it's like, and you see folks of other ethnicities, like even like, for example, Hispanics, particularly Mexican women, right? The spouse, the husband, he may cheat, right? He may cheat. The wife would give him a hard time, but she would not leave him. She will not divorce him, because for her, keeping the family together means more. And she also understands too that beyond him ain't nothing else out here. So it's still probably better to keep the children with their biological father. But in American culture, they don't really operate that way. And then they think that some other guy, because they're on like some Sierra Prayers nonsense, they think that, he's going to come in and take her on, another man's offspring, and, just become a passport bro. I mean, that's an option. Lady Ashley, I mean, that's an option. I mean, a lot of men are doing it, because, a lot of men, they, just like women, a lot of men are average, right? But the issue, and like I explained before, the issue is most women are average. Most of you are average, but many of you think that you're exceptional and above average. And so, oh shit. Damn. Yeah, many of you think that you're above average, but the reality is you're not. You're not. My bad, y'all. There's like a whole bunch of there's a whole bunch of like cops flying around. My bad. Thanks for the roses. I appreciate it. You said, Apple user, you said because men are supposed to lead, right? That's why you males claim. So to lead, you need to be, well, yeah, that's the thing. So let's touch on this. All right, we're going to touch on this right now. We're going to touch on this. Okay, Apple user 998. Yeah, men are supposed to be leaders, but a lot of women don't want to be led, right? You see it yourself, right? Oh, I'm independent, right? Again, men are looking for women who are interdependent, not independent. You said it yourself, right? Yeah, men want to lead, right? Because generally speaking, women are hypergamous. Women want men bedded in them in virtually everything. But then in the same note, they'll scream that I'm independent, I don't need a man. But then many of them who do claim that they want a man, or say I don't need one, but I want one, as if it's just a luxury or something, when in actuality, the reality is many of them need one like their damn life depends on it. But, most women are hypergamous. So women generally are hypergamous. They want a man better than them in virtually everything. Bigger, stronger, earns more, whatever, right? Smarter. They want a man better than them in virtually everything. So that being said, if they get to a point where they find this man, they don't know how to act. And a lot of them, are not feminine. A lot of them have a lot of masculine, hyper masculine traits. And these type of men that can provide that type of lifestyle and all of that, or a good middle class lifestyle, a lot of them are not looking for masculine women because for one, he doesn't have nothing to prove to a disruptive, masculine, confrontational woman. He's not. That's not going to be attractive to them. He's going to want a soft, polite, caring woman who's going to be an asset to be his peace. He's not looking for a liability. He's not looking for a headache. I mean, look at Leslie Jones, right? We've all seen it ourselves, right? What did Leslie Jones say? We're going to pull it up right now. Let me see if I can pull up what Leslie Jones says. Our dear Leslie Jones, what she say? We're going to pull it up. I want y'all to hear what she says, okay? I want y'all to hear what Leslie Jones says. All right, here we go.
I don't understand why you wouldn't want a woman like me. I am successful. I'm rich. I can fight. I will say it. I love men. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. But I don't love a stupid man. If you can't be with my peace, you can be with the door. Yeah. Oh, you're in your masculine area. Well, why don't you get in yours? I'm sick of men telling me, oh, wait, you hardcore. Yes, I am.
Can you handle it?
Well, what you bringing to the table? I am the table.
So, and that's just to give you for her, she may not see an issue with that, but a lot of men do. Even me, like, I'm bigger than Leslie Jones, right? I'm taller. I probably weigh more than her, and I'm physically stronger than her, even though she's a big, brawly woman, but I'm bigger than her. I'm stronger than her. But no man wants a woman like that because it's super unattractive. It's super unattractive. That's a walking nightmare. But that's how a lot of women operate. It's like, well, why don't you want a woman like me? It's like, because you're just a walking disaster. I want to come home to peace and tranquility after diving into the harsh and complex elements of society. You see what I'm saying, Maureen? This is what I'm saying. This is the type of stuff that Western men have to deal with. And that's just but a taste. That is but a taste. And let me say, y'all, over here, I'm talking to someone else who's in the Philippines. She think y'all crazy. Y'all Western women, she think a lot of y'all are crazy. She's wondering why y'all don't respect your men. She's wondering why y'all don't go overboard to do for your men. And this is the thing. This is why they're winning, you're losing. Y'all better take some notes and learn from the women in the Philippines. And this is why we're seeing things like this passport bros phenomenon. Because men go where they're wanted. Remember what I said earlier, ladies? Men go where we're wanted. If you're steadily saying, I don't need no man, I can do all bad by myself, and wonder why men shy away, it's like, and then, you have men like me attempting to tell you, but then you're still resistant and you reject constructive feedback. It's like, what do you do? What can a man do? You can never say it. You never heard it before. I'm telling you right now, men don't like that shit. You're never going to get a man acting like that. No man has to conform to many of you ladies. And this is most important, ladies. No man owes you an understanding. Okay? You have to it's like a job interview. You have to bring the best version of yourself. And many of you have to overperform. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Many of you have to overperform because you're lacking in other areas, the looks department, whatever. Many of you need to overperform. That's just how it is. Because again, many below average and average women, many of you want this exceptional above average man that we all know many of you cannot qualify for. Maureen said, I want a man that can make me feel safe and loved. Simple as that. Absolutely. Absolutely, Maureen. You goddamn right. And ladies, listen, men are simple. Men don't ask for a lot. Men are very simple. We're simple, very simple creatures. Let's see. Submissive men. I mean, mystic's shadow, if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for a submissive man. But that's what a lot of these ladies are looking for. A lot of these ladies are looking for a submissive man. And it's gonna be tough for a lot of these ladies to find that type of man that's ready, willing, and able to conform to their ideologies, their beliefs, their lifestyle. Because men like, and especially these top tier men, they don't conform. They don't need to. Ladies, listen, many of you, you have to compete with other women who are around these men. And yeah, you have to compete. If you want the kind of caliber of man you say you want, you have to compete. If you don't want to compete, okay, step aside. It's as simple as that. We don't want them, period. And you know what, Mercy, I think this is a good entry point into our next topic. Thank you so much. We don't want them, period. Great entry point into the next topic. Thank you so very much for that. Boom, here we go, ladies. Has the cis code ruined it for women? Has the cis code ruined it for women? What do y'all think? Because we all know that the cis code consists of what? Deception, lies, false praise, the echo chamber. Yeah, we going there right now. Has the cis code ruined it for women? What do y'all think? Absolutely. Absolutely. Women always date up. Women are hypergamous. They date up. Men date down. Absolutely. Case in point, ladies, this is why men don't care about your degrees, how much you've accomplished, how much money you may have, because we know we'll never have access to it. So it doesn't matter to us. Your degrees don't mean anything, especially for you career students with your 10 bachelor's degrees and all this other nonsense. Men don't care. And everything is in humanities. Men do not care about that. All right. Young Water, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. I think men should talk to men. In what sense? What do you mean by that? Nene said, my man treats me as equal, so he is better than anyone who expects submission. Well, he doesn't treat you equal. He can't treat you equal. You're not equal. If he's treating you equal, he's probably not doing his job right. I'm just saying. Because by no stretch of the imagination is it equal. Because if you got into a conflict and the two of you are together, you're going to expect your man to jump in to risk his safety, his freedom, his life for you, right? He's expected to provide provision, protection, resources, stability, a foundation, not so much you. That's the stark difference. And I think we lose track of that. We lose sight of that. It's always going to be expected he's to provide more. There is, by no stretch of the imagination, equality. Here we go right here. I need a man, wanted a man. You can still have a man. I hear you, spiritually humble. You can still have a man. You can still have a man. And for many of you, you know, for as long as you're willing to do the work, there's hope for you. But you have to do the work. You have to go to therapy. You know, many of you strong, independent women, but still might need a man, but you're too proud and egotistic to, you know, admit that you actually need a man, like your life depends on it. Go to therapy. You know, you made all that money. You make all that money. Hire a coach, hire a consultant, right? Get yourself together so that you can get out here and have a fighting chance. It's easy. You just got to do it. Yeah, exactly, Maureen. Exactly. You know, but the thing is, I mean, any man who's 18 or older, I mean, he's still dubbed a man. But the issue is a lot of these women don't want to build with a man. That's the thing. You know, they want a man that comes already ready with assets, resources, all of this other stuff, and they come in with nothing but traumas, debt, right? Bad attitudes, right?